Hello everybody, here we are for the long-awaited mint sealed bag. Oh, I've got the wrong graphic up here. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get the graphic together. Can't believe I did that. $19.60 Philadelphia mint sealed bag we're going to be working on here today. Let me see if I can get this together and get it right. See if it changes automatically. There we go. It changed automatically for us. Hello, Frostbite. Good evening, sir. How you doing? Hoping that we can get a few more people involved here prior to the actual opening. Got 8 people out there. Got 8 likes. Sounds like you guys are doing a great job keeping the likes button going. There's Mr. Sappington. Got this mint sealed bag of 1960. 1960 Lincoln cents right here. There's your mint stitching right there on the inside of the bag, and on the front and back you still got mint stitching. I'll show you how these are best opened. Probably, or at least try to do a better job of it this time than I did last time. What you're looking for is a place where there's a piece of the stitching right here that goes around the edge. I'm going to take this little pencil right here. I'm going to show you. So here's the serging knot right here. I'm going to try to put it on a light colored background so it's easier to see. So there's the serging knot right here, and it comes down here, and there's this one extra thread right there that goes around the other edge of the bag, around to the other side of the bag. That right there is the key to opening the bag. You click that little thing. And so let me get my scissors out. You clip that little guy. And once that's cut, your bag's ready to just zip open it. Zipper straight open. There we go. You have to kind of pull on the right spot. Yeah, maybe I did the serging at the wrong end. Because if you do it from the wrong end, that's what it's going to look like. There we go. I got it from the right end. You just get the knot out and you just start pulling on the string. And as you pull on the string, the stitching comes right out. Now, the entirety of the thread that was sewn, holding it together, is now in my hand. Good evening, Anthony, and to Thomas Murphy. That's one thing that I was going to ask prior to looking at any coin in this bag. I have still not seen anything of the inside of the bag. I need to make sure that there isn't anybody here who has last-minute thoughts about getting involved and wants to get in, because I do have some cards here, and I can throw some cards together for you. If you want in, I can get you in, and I can make note of it and bill you after the show. So I've got Thomas Murphy says he wants 2, and what 2 is going to mean is you get 2 pairs. So each coin, there's going to be 2 coins in each one of these flip inserts. So given that there's 2 coins in each flip insert, you'll get 2 coins with 1 purchase. So if you buy 2 of them, you're actually going to get 4 coins. These are $5.25 per pair. So I'm going to put Thomas Murphy in for 2. Frostbite for 4 more. Coins and Ghouls for 3 more. And Anthony, I think you heard it with 525. Let me go ahead and start getting those cards ready. And that's what these will look like. And then I'm going to take flip inserts or flips and actually put them into the flips. There's one for frostbite. Anthony says he'll take one. Okay, we get you added on the list for one. Can't do it that way, Cookie, because once we get into a place where we're getting really valuable coins, giving additional people chances at more money won't do. I have to get everything sold prior to opening the bag. That's the only fair way to do it. Okay, Anthony A., I got one for you. Then I've got to get 3 more for frostbite. And 3 for coins and ghouls. Let's see. It's more personal. I used to do them handmade. Actually, I did them on a little slip of paper. If you guys will remember from way back in the days, if you go back and watch one of the first 10 reveal shows, you'll see that. Here's coins and ghouls for 1. Coins and ghouls for 2. And coins and ghouls for 3. Anybody else before I get moving on? Cookie says she'll take 5 more. Okay. I'll get Cookie in for 5 more. And what we will do, as I go through this show, I'm going to pull the pairs for the first 100 flips I come up with. Then, if we're in decision that we need to keep going and keep looking at more, we can. But I think all of us are going to get kind of tired even if there's good stuff. And we'll probably be ready to move on and just have me stuff flips for the remainder. You guys should, most of you should have gotten your first bag's coins already, the 89 bag. I'll try to do the same thing this time, as if we run into a goodie. I'll try to make sure everybody gets a goodie. Just depends on how rare they are. Turns out there's only 5 of them in the bag. Of course, we're going to have a problem. Let's see, I think I got to get one more for Cookie. All right, there we go. Sissy says 5 more. I'll get some more of these cut here real quick. God, I'm even a perfectionist about how I cut these things. I need to slow down with my OCD. It's getting to be a little bit of a chore. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I get 5 cookies? Yes, I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 6. Shouldn't have done 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's it for Cookie. 5. Sissy gets 5. That's 1 for Sissy. Here's 2. There's 3. There's 4. There's 5. There's one more for Anthony. And Jesse wants 5. Oh. Sorry, Jess, I messed up your name there. And here's Jesse's last. I am not even sure how many Parvas ended up with. I think 10. But let me get all these stuffed. And then I'm going to shuffle and stick them in with everything else. Let's see. I ended up getting 5 more spots to Cookie. Sissy. Jesse. And then Anthony got 2 spots, not 1. I think that catches my bookkeeping up. I get these stuffed real quick, and we'll be ready to move. All right. This is I'm excited. I don't know why I'm so excited to get into a 1960 Philadelphia bag. I mean, you know, they're kind of exciting. They can be something great. The chance of them being a small date bag are extremely small. And, well, even if, I mean, heck, if we get a small date bag, we're all sitting in high, tall cotton. Might even change the market value on 60 small dates. A whole bag of them shows up at one time. You can't hide that. It's like trying to hide an elephant in a convenience store. I mean, just, you're going to have a lot of them out there on the market. Probably dip the roll price back down to $70, $80 for a while. It's up to $120 now. Gracie can't keep up with them. All right. Now, I had some up here and ready. Here's how I'm going to handle this. I've got a big pile of them on the floor. But the ones that were just added in, I'm going to shuffle these, give them a really good shuffle. And then I'm going to take about the top third of them off after they're not numbered, so I can put them in any place, anywhere. We're going to take one there, one there, one there, one there, 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 and there. And then the rest of these will go with the ones we're probably not going to get done during the show. So all the people who just got in will get a spot somewhere in this early stack with all the other people who were already in. And then we will be ready to open a bag. Now at first I'm going to go through and pull pairs out for people just to see where we are with stuff. Oh, okay. There we go. Get that over there. Here is our bag. Well, wish me luck, folks. I'm digging in. Let's see what we see here. I don't see like a lot of large obvious error coins. The coins are pretty nice and pretty red. That's definitely one thing we typically look for is for the coins to be nice and red, and well, these are. So I don't see any monster error coins. We'd have to do some sort of a lottery system for that. I'm looking to see if I see off-centers, broad-struck, clip planchets, things like that. They are large date. This is kind of what we had suspected they would be in the first place. So here we go. I've just pulled out about a roll. Grab some more of them in here. Okay, we have a representative group that is about a roll worth. I've got them in a order. I'm not going to say in order because there is no such thing, but I flip the bag back up so none of them spill out. And we're going to take, well, looks like Roger Borland gets the very first coins out of this lot. So I'll take 2 of the coins here. And I'm going to put them on my... Oh, where are we here? Okay, so now is where I move over to my scope. Did I shut that off? No, I didn't shut it off. What's going on here? Okay, they're in. All right, and hang on a second, folks. Okay, let me change my exposure time here so we can see what we're doing once I go over to this. There we go. There's our first coin coming out of the roll. And I'm looking obverse and reverse for pretty much anything. When you run into stuff like this, you never know what you might come across, and if you're not going slow at first, you'll probably miss good stuff. So I don't want to miss anything. That sounds almost like an Aerosmith song. So that coin doesn't appear to have anything on the obverse. Let's check the next one. And it took us 50, 60 coins to find one of the double dies that we found in the 89 bag. And we found 3 different double dies in the 89 bag. Okay, nothing on the obverse on either one of those 2. Let me flip them over to the reverse and we'll take a look at that. Reverse actually probably holds a little more promise than the obverse on these. But you never know. Right? Here's the reverse of the first coin. Let me get the lighting set just a little better. There we go. That's just a little bit better. Just make sure that we can see little bits happening on the corners of the letters. And I don't see anything special on that coin. Let's move over to the other. And isn't it cool to be the very first people to ever see these coins climb out of a mint sealed bag? They've been sealed to the light for 60 years. I don't want to lie, but at the same time, I can't math right now. Since 1960. That'd be 8 years older than me. Yeah, 62 years. 62 years these things have been out of the light. Never seen by a human being outside the United States Mint. Next up, actually that camera needs to be headed in this direction. There we go. Next up is Wanda. So I'll take a couple of coins for Wanda. Put them both face up on here. We'll take a look at them real quick and see what we see. Okay, remember those squiggly little die scratches all around the date area. We're going to start looking at markers so that we know one die from other dies. Just watch the markers go by. Start memorizing. You know this is an original source. We're not trying to prove that it's an original source. We're just trying to speed up the process a little bit. If we find something special on the reverse of this coin, then we will know. We might even find something on the obverse here. That looks like it could be a very minor, still yet stable doubled eyelid here. Hang on just a second. Let's see. No. Not. I thought for a second that I had found a doubled eyelid, but it is not. Alright. So, got nothing on the obverse of this one with all the squiggly die marks around the date. So let's move over to the next coin, see what we have there. This one's just got a little bit of die scratch fuzz going between the 1 and the 9. We should be able to spot that die later on. Now you guys see that doubling right on the edge of the center of the E in we? Teach you something here. This little guy right here. And up here you have basically the same thing, and on some of them it even shows in here. That is master die doubling. Almost all 1960 large date Lincoln cents have that doubling. That's doubling that was created on the master die, which transferred over to all the working hubs, which also transferred over to all the working dies. And so it's a nothing. That's what it is. Let's see. I think I may have seen a hint of a bar L. I think we might have a bar L. We do have a bar L. That's a very minor one. But it is, I believe, a minor double die. Minor, minor. Pants on finer. There it is. See that little nipple sticking out of the bottom of the L? That little tiny thing right there. That is officially a double die. I don't know whether or not it's going to be something that we can list, but it certainly looks like a double die to me. So far we have this die that shows us a very minor double die, and it has, are those die scratches or no? Sorry folks, my scope is not one of those electronic scopes that focuses automatically. With this one you actually have to turn old-fashioned knobs to focus it, because it has far better optics than any of those what I call toy microscopes. Far better optics than those have. Yeah, I'm not really seeing a good marker yet. This coin's just a little bit on the banged up side. Just a little. Just a few marks here and there that keep me from being able to really discern any specific markers. I thought those were die scratches, but they're not. They're actually little hits on the coin. Okay. There's a raised dot out in front of the lips, right out here, but I'm not sure if that's just something sitting on the coin, piece of metal sitting on the coin, or if it's actually part of the strike. Wow. Surprisingly few markers. There's a little east and west die. No, that isn't a die scratch. We'll have to pass by another one and see what happens. But let's check the reverse on these before we continue moving on. Got some really nice double die reverses, mostly class 6 or class 2, distorted or distended hub doubles. on the reverse, most of them are going to show in the FG initials. So if you're cognizant of the idea that the FG initials should be like a uniface font where there's only one thickness all the way around the letter, if you see something that looks extra thick, then you have an issue, which would be a minor double die. We're going to be watching for that. There's some of them out there, man, they are just hundo double dies. I mean, huge. Talking about the initials being 4 to 6 times their normal thickness. I hope we find something like that. That would just be stupid nice. Okay. I got nothing on this. Nice markers, though. But this is a... Oh, looky there. Art, if you're around, isn't there an RPM that has a marker like this where you've got a die chip between the E and the S of states? That just shows how common that die chip can be, because this is on a Philadelphia Mint coin. That's kind of cool. Alrighty, nothing on the obverse of one of these, but the obverse on the other has a very minor double die, and I'm going to put it in last so that I can refer to it. And I'm going to sit hers off to the side so that I can refer back to that if I find other examples of such doubling. Now we move on. Malcolm is next. So here comes Malcolm's coins. First coin on is this one. Not the same as the others. So this is yet a different die pair. No doubling on the I. Apparent no doubling on In God We Trust. Nothing on the L. Nothing on Liberty. So let's move on to the second coin. The shadowing is not set in a place where I'm elated with it, but I can live with it nonetheless. Okay, nothing there. Let's check the reverse side on these coins. Here is the first one. Lots of nifty little double die reverses to be found, 1960. Mostly Philadelphia Mint coins from the 60s have the double die reverses. Exactly why, I can't tell you. Mostly Philadelphia Mint and mostly on the reverse. The obverses don't seem to have near the double dies that the reverses do from this era. Okay, nothing on that one. Let's move on to the second coin here and see what we can find here. Well, as my Hispanic friends would say, absolutamente nada. Alright, let me load these up in their holder and move on. Moving on now, we are at Anthony. And Anthony gets 2 coins. And let's see, what do we have here? Well, this one's got nothing on it. And nothing up in the I area. Nothing under the L or on Liberty. So I move on to his next coin. Oh, his next coin would be in the other direction. There we go. Yeah, nothing on the date. Not a doubled I. And nothing else on the obverse. Yes, sir, South Endell. How are you doing? I guess if I want someone to show up, all I have to do is take their sticker off of their box. You hadn't ordered in so long, I had to take up your shelf space with someone else's name. So I pulled your name off and put it on my inactive shelf today. How are you doing, sir? I know that you are recovering. How are you recovering? Well, is everything going okay? You know, there's nothing on the reverse of either of these coins, nothing on the obverse of either of them either. Either. Roger. Are you feeling better now, South End Al? You getting better? Recovering? Getting better? Frostbite comes up next. I got Frostbite's 2 coins loaded up, ready to go. No doubling on the date. That little ghost impression that you see on the date there, coming inward like on the edge of the 6, on the edge of the 0, that is a die wear issue, strike pressure and die wear. Is this... Okay, that is a die gouge. That little thing sticking off the bottom of the L right there is a die gouge, and it continues down here. Yeah, that is an unfortunate part to anytime you're going to store a bag for 60 years. You're going to get marks on the coins. That plus the inside the mint quality control wasn't so wonderful back in those days. You have to remember the mint makes coins so that they can use them. They don't make coins for you to collect them. I know. You would think differently, but the truth of the matter is they just make the coins to have the coins to use. They don't make the coins so that you will enjoy them. So when it comes right down to it, these are totally utilitarian little pieces of copper that are made for use in commerce, and that's the only job they had. And, well, while they did that part of the job well, they didn't take preservation as an importance. So trying to keep coins pretty wasn't anything they were trying to do. Yeah, we talk about pride in your job and all that kind of stuff. And that just doesn't work here. So we get what we get, and oftentimes the quality of what we get isn't on the up and up. It isn't like totally beautiful quality. And often, I'm seeing a lot of little struck-throughs, so that we might actually get a really nice struck-through in this bag. A lot of little ones. All right, that's Frostbite's 2 coins. I have the sales for the pulls. And the sales for the pulls, let's just do it this way. Reveal sales are on Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That is for roll reveals and bag reveals. And then the other type of show that I do where we go through coins are coins that have already been opened and put in flips or cards. And those are called pulls, where we pull a poker chip with your name, and then we pull a coin for that poker chip, and you get whatever is pulled. Those are sold during the auction on Tuesday, which starts at 7 p.m. So I have 2 completely different types of shows that I do. We've got the reveals, which is what we're doing now, and then we have pulls. Pulls I don't put under the scope, reveals I do. So that's kind of the operational difference between the two. You pretty easily tell one show or the other as soon as you open up the show and start watching. If there's poker chips everywhere, then we're doing a pull. If you see a picture of a coin under a microscope and I'm playing around with it, that would be a reveal. All right, let's look at these two on the reverse side. I am hoping we come up with something really nice on the reverse. I would love to see a really nice double die come out of these. Got nothing there so far. And keep looking. Alright, got nothing there with this little guy. And so that is Sissy's first coin pair. We have only been through 5 coin pairs so far, but we're taking our time with this. There's Roger again. 1 coin. 2 coins. I don't want to miss anything, so I'm taking it nice and easy. Looking for the kinds of stuff we might otherwise miss if we were going very quickly through these. Alright, nothing on the obverse on those. Let's check the reverse real quick. And I guess we can just keep plowing along until I find something. Because just about everybody, I think everybody has more than one. So your chance of getting something at some point here is going to be relatively good. If there's anything in the bag, we're going to get plenty of it, and there's going to be enough to go around. I have been skunked on bags before. It does happen. It's just like getting skunked on a roll, only it's 100 times. So we're not always going to find something good. Hello, Carl. No small dates. There's not going to be any small dates in here. In my experience dealing with Lincoln Cents, your source material is either going to be all large date or all small date. And this is large date. That's just my understanding. Now, the D mint was mixed, but the Philadelphia mint I don't think was mixed. It was my understanding that they minted all of the small date coins kind of early in the process, and then they got busy doing something else while they were going through the change from small to large date. And so all of the coins that were minted as small dates were bagged and gone before they changed the design. When they changed the design, only the new design was hung to create coins. And so your small source of small dates are only with other small dates. Hello, Tyler. Got nothing on that coin. Check and see what we have here. There's another struck through right there. That's actually a pit in the coin. It has no crater edge on it, so you can tell it happened inside the minting chamber because the design was holding the metal back from spreading outward. Alright, that's for Jim. I think I'm kind of convinced that chorizo is one of my favorite foods. Anybody know what chorizo is? Crispy. That looks like one we've seen. That looks like a die we already know. I think that's one in the same. It is. Same die. Second time through. We have this little V confluence right here of die scratches kind of beneath the 1 and the date. Harlan, Harlan, Harlan. It's not hot pork sausage. It's kind of salty and it has some flavor, but it's not hot. It's just right. It tastes good. Chorizo. And when you're making breakfast burritos, it's the best meat on the planet. Best on the planet. It's a pork sausage that has a number of flavorings. Oh, Mickey. All right, here is a pair for Eric. Let's see if we can get Eric a good pair of coins here. We haven't gotten anywhere with this bag so far, Mickey. Doesn't seem that we've got much anything going on here yet. I ran into a bar L, a very, very minor looking bar L early on, and I haven't even been able to repeat that yet. Yeah, sometimes we get real lucky and get really good stuff, and sometimes we just don't. Your luck's about the same with any original roll as it would be any original bag. The only difference is with the bag you multiply that luck times 100, one way or the other. This time it's been kind of bad luck so far. But there's another struck through right there. So there was crud following this stuff all around. We may even find struck through letters, dropped letters, anything. There's any number of different things we could possibly find, especially considering we have this little bit of an error in not keeping the die clean enough. How many coins have I been through? 18. Done 18 coins so far. We're getting a little bit faster because I know a little bit more about what I'm looking for. See here. So this isn't the same confluence of die scratches below the 1. It's not the same thing. So this is a different one of our dies. And I need to check this real quick. I see a shadow next to the N. That could transfer over to some of the other letters. And no. So let's look at the obverse of the second coin. Was that the second coin? I don't even remember now. No, it wasn't. This will be another one of those experiences, and I think we're going to leave it this way for the bags here through on out. If we find something in the bag, I'll do what I can to make sure that everybody gets one. And when you get them, they're going to come unmarked. And it is going to be up to you to figure out whether you got any and where they are. I'm telling you now that with pretty much any die variety where there's enough to go around, I'm going to put one on everybody's plate. So arrive hungry. Right, Mickey? Sometimes you just gotta be smarter than the monitor, right? Alright, here's Jesse. Jesse comes in. Let's see if he can change our luck a little bit. Unfortunately, it doesn't appear so on this coin. Let's try this next one over here and see what happens. No, that one's got the confluence under the 1, so that's not going to be a double die. Definitely not an RPM. There's no R's to PM. Well, I know some of you have gone through finding Class 2 double dies before on the reverse of early memorial cents and know exactly what I'm looking for, so I'm sure I've got some Hawkeyes staring over my shoulder now. Alright. Not yet, Farm Dog. We have had nothing but one possible minor bar L. Possible. Not even going to go there and saying it is one. It just kind of looks like it. Alright, so Sissy's up next. Nothing on that one. Next, this one too. Nothing so far. Well, we just keep pushing. Oop. Sorry about that, Sissy. Hopefully our 60D bag works out to be a lot better. Same age of bag. Just different mint. That's an interesting little mark below the 6. Nothing there. Nope, not going to give up on it. It's not going to happen. Oh, looky there. Oh, how pretty. That's a fold-over lamination peel right there. Straight out of a mint seal bag, folks. You know that sucker's real. Dang, Daddy likes that. Wonder what there might be on the other side that we haven't seen here. Yeah, that's pretty freaky cool. Look at that, Frostbite. You got yourself a nice coin. That's actually a flap. So this whole thing up here it belongs down here, and it folded over. So that's pretty neat. It's like a piece of copper foil. Be careful not to touch that and mess with it. This is the udder coin. And this is the one with that massive lamb peel. Kind of really nothing going on this side. That's okay, though. And these go to Frostbite. So that's kind of our first little highlight, is actually a little error coin. Which, I'll take whatever we get, right? That's really cool. That was neat. Alright, coins and ghouls. Get you two. Let's keep our eye on the prize, boys and girls. Oh, this is the confluence. I call it confluence. You got a confluence of two sets of die scratches just below the one. Makes big V shapes. So we have seen this die before. This is the die you've seen before. Move along. And this one, well, I'm not going to sit here and profess that I know how to make heads or tails out of every single die that comes across my desk, but, and this is no exception, it's just a 1960 Lincoln Cent. I won't remember the markers on it. I don't remember it now, and I've probably seen it today. Alright. I went the wrong way with that one. My cardboard for my coins done gone RUNNOFT. And my wife telling me, "You sound funny." Oh, what do you mean? Yeah, you're imitating these people. No. See, you don't understand. Here's what you don't understand. I spent from 1977 to 1986 in Memphis, Tennessee. I am not emulating anyone. My original accent is just coming back out. I'm not quite as northern as I was before. Yeah, come on, let's look at this coin first, if I can find it. Where are you? Ah, yes. If it was there to be found, we would have found it already. Alright, let's see. Yeah, some of these coins aren't the prettiest in the world. They come straight out of a mint seal bag, though. Is what it is. The bag didn't really have any marks on it. No stains, no nothing. It's just the life of a coin inside of a bag for 60 years. If you lived inside of a bag for 60 years, I think you'd probably have some wrinkles too. So, yeah. Alright, let's check this one on the reverse side. Oh, I got flat. Nothing so far. Central U.S. up north. Frostbite, no, I would not. The reason for that is because lamination like that's probably a $30 coin. You don't want to eat up all the profit that would come from the coin, the value of the coin itself, in grading fees. It's not valuable enough an error to really warrant spending the money to have it encapsulated. If it was a $100 error, sure, absolutely. But you're talking it's only a $30 to $50 error. No. Cost you that much just to have it put in plastic. Not the most expressively beautiful idea I've heard today. This is another confluence coin, so the markers are going to match up with other stuff we've seen before. This is the non-confluence coin. Now we'll move over and take a look at the confluence coin now. People logging on. Oh, is he calling that? What does that mean? It simply means that we have a confluence of two sets of die scratches on one particular die that I am seeing over and over and over again. It's helping us identify what is not important. It's not helping us identify something that is. All right, here's Thomas. And let's see what we have for Thomas. On the first coin, first side. Low and away. Ball 1. Lowest corner. Ball 2. All right, nothing there. Let's flip us over and look through here. Let's see if we have anything going on. Not there. Let's check this one. This is roughly about how many coins we had gone through in the 89 bag before we actually found our first die variety. So I am still not convinced that we've been skunked. Not convinced that we've been skunked. Other than that lamination error, we haven't really found much of anything really hot. Big business type stuff. Sureg up next. Let's see what Sureg gets. Sureg on his obverse gets... Let's see. Yeah, nothing there. Had a pretty decent day today. Found something that was a push from Mickey Fur. Actually, earlier in the week, he sent me a link to a Facebook Marketplace post where I picked up a little piece of tiny license plate collecting that heretofore was basically unknown to exist, which is really kind of cool. I mean, I know people have had them before, but most people just simply threw them away. But what I have is actually a package that protected food from plate or plate from food, but a license plate inside of a box of Baker's chocolate, which that's just rare in itself. Having the plate is rare enough. Having the plate with an original package is unheard of. I've never seen an original package for the Baker's chocolate license plates. Bicycle license plates made back in the day, 1959. I got something to show you because it's especially wonderful. Hang on just a second. Well, where'd I put it? Oh, I know where it is. Okay, it came in a... I'll put it over here. So, here's the license plate. And it's in mint condition. It's beautiful. It comes from 1959. And this came out of Baker's chocolate. Baker's brand chocolate. Cocoa. It's like cocoa powder that you bake with. Now, this is an original package from that. And it told you where to send your money. You could send a quarter plus a foil top to the cocoa box to get anything A through J in this list. And the part that I want to show you, I'm going to put it under the scope for this part. Maybe not. Whoops. Is right there. You see it says Special offer scale metal license plates 5 for only 25 cents. Collect scale metal plates from all 49 states, including Alaska, plus Washington, D.C. So at this time, at the time they created these, Hawaii was not yet a state. So you only got them from the 49 states plus Washington, D.C. There was a 50 plate set, but it did not include Hawaii. Isn't that kind of cool? But that's what this plate came in. And it still go in its little pouch right there. It's a wax paper pouch. The plate goes inside there, and that's how it came. That's just, I just think that's like super cool. You're talking about something that is older than this bag of pennies right here, right? And I digress, but I'm going to dig into a slightly different part of the bag now. I'm going to kind of rake some of the coins over and go a little bit deeper into the bag to see if maybe we come up with something like really stupid interesting. And I'm going to make me a little stack like a roll. So for those of you who didn't know already, I am one of those nerds who collects something other than coins. And my nerdy collection is bicycle license plates that came out of food, cereal, chocolate, candy, chewing gum. They made them. Back in the day, you could collect license plates. And in fact, if you're a card collector and you do like Topps baseball cards, surprise, surprise, Topps came out with license plate cards. That's right, 1951 and 1953. They had sets of license plate cards. This is for Harlan. Well, that's an interesting little mark right down there already. What is that? Is that part of a clash? It looks like there's a clash and... Oh, wait a minute. Looks like there might be some other parts of a clash going on here. Okay, we're going to have to isolate this coin. But yeah, Topps made cards in 1951 and 1953. Okay, I'm going to flip this. I'm going to look at the other side here just a second to see what I see. Okay, that's what I kind of thought. I'm going to flip it again. I'm not going to tell you what I'm looking at first. But I will tell you, just not yet. Now I need to do a little test. And then I'll tell you what my little test is all about. Let's see what else I can see here, if anything. A little bit marked up of a coin, but it has some very interesting stuff going on. I got to put a marker on it. Hang on just a second. Yep, precisely. Look at the E in United right there. You see the shape of the E in United? Look where that paper is coming out from the other side. Right through the middle of the E. Okay? We'll talk about license plates here in a few. Right now we're on coins. So we'll get back to license plates in just a minute. Okay, now, if you're looking at this area right in here, you can see what the top of the E looks like. Now imagine if this were backwards and opposite in relief. What you would have is a little concavity that looks sort of like an L, and then you would have a hump that looks like this inside of the E. Now, if I flip this coin over and we go back to the same spot that I just marked, and I pull this off, Look at that right there, right on the back of the shoulder. Right on the back of the shoulder. That is a die clash of the letter E. On the other side, that's the lower half of the letter E right there. And then this is the center of the E, and then the upper half would be up here. But there's also a little bit of a lamination peel. But you can see the bottom corner right here, and then you can see that corner right there. We're talking about the bottom of the E, and this is going backwards, of course. So the T is going to be over here somewhere, and the D is going to be more over in this direction. Okay, we'll look at that in just a minute, what's under the S in states. But this right here is also part of that clash. And I'm not sure exactly what this matches up with, but that's also part of the die clash. This one should be listed, or should be, I'm not saying it is. It should be listed with the other stuff on madddieclashes.com. I don't know if there are any 60 large dates listed on there, madddieclashes.com. But this is a die clash mark right here from the other side of the coin, the other side of the design. Right there in the field touching the back of the shoulder. That's part of the E of United. I had to put a marker next to that so I could flip the coin over and see that I was going to the exact same spot to look for the other part. Now we'll do it again. We'll do it with a flip this time. Hang on a second. Let me grab a flip. Okay. So if I take this coin, here, let me get his other coin moved out of the way. If I take this coin and I slide it into this flip, hang on a second. Slide it into the flip to where it goes through the center of the design, which is basically just like the jaw and ear line right there. And then I turn this to right there. I'll turn the coin around now inside this holder, and you can see that little mark right there, what I'm talking about, this little mark right here. Okay, there and there are a couple of squarish marks. All right, so let me flip this in just a little bit more to get that mark perfectly lined up. There you go. So now if I flip the coin over on the other side, we're going to see that seam, can you see the seam there? That seam comes out right at the E of United. And what we're looking at when we look at this coin on the other side is we're seeing a clash mark of this area right here behind Lincoln's shoulder, which comes down right here. His shoulder is going to come down here, and then we're going to see this mark come out from the shoulder. So I'll flip it over and I'll show it to you. That was to prove that it was aligned, and it was. And now, turn it around so we can see the mark. And there it is. That's the bottom of the E of United backwards. The other place is the U. No, it's going to be part of the word states. What other? You talking about this right here? That's going to be part of the letters in states. And it's probably ED space. It's probably going to be the first S in states. Yep, it's a clash mark. And I don't remember ever seeing a clash mark like this on a 1960 cent before. So it's just interesting. I'm not saying it's worth a mint. It's just something that's cool. It's fun to look at. It's fun to say, hey, see that mark right there? That matches up perfectly with the E in states on the other side. But here's the rest of that coin. See if there's anything going on here that we need to be talking further about. It looks like they've polished most of the marks off. It doesn't look like there's, usually you're going to see part of Liberty on the inside of the bays here, but it's that's been successfully polished off. Doesn't look like there's any other successful marks that have remained. You see how the roof line up here has gotten real soft in this area. It's real soft right here, but it's nice and hard here, and it's nice and hard over here, but it's real soft right in here. The reason for that's because this is where Lincoln's beard stuck out, and it was probably pretty heavily clashed, so they had to polish it away. And when they did that, they also basically polished the roof line off. Enough for that coin. That's nice. Harlan gets a nice one. Let's see what he gets for his other coin. This one's got a little bit of bag crud on it. All right, let's flip it over and take a look at the other side of this one. I think we're going to somehow come out of this with no die varieties. So any of these nifty little errors and things that we can find, they are definitely a welcome sight. Because we don't want to get skunked. But at the same time, we don't want to just be collecting a bunch of junk just because, you know, hey, it's there. This isn't junk. These two coins were actually kind of cool. You had the one that was a massive lamination, really nice lamination peel. And then this one has a really nice clash mark. And now that clash mark, we can kind of look for it because we know it's going to be on a number of coins in this bag. We don't know how many. But given there's 5,000 coins and probably only about, maybe 8 to 10 die pairs at most, we're talking about at least 500 coins in the bag that would have that same clash mark like this one. There's one right there. You can see it again. This one doesn't have the lamb peel stuff going on there, but you can see that corner of the E right there. And this one doesn't show that other letter as well. It's right here. There's a little crud on the coin. I don't really see anything else on this one. I think, folks, we're starting to get to the end of the road where it comes to finding different dies. And we haven't found anything specific to a die other than that clash mark that really has any bearing that would be an issue that would be repeated from coin to coin to coin. Laminations and lamb peels and stuff like that, broken planchets and whatnot, those are all planchet errors. So that's not something that's going to repeat itself. You're not going to get 100 lamination peels in a row, and you're certainly not going to get broken planchets just because one's broken. You're not going to get off-center strikes because one is off-center. Stuff like that is stuff that's really only going to come. There's Cap Morgan dollar. Stuff like that's only stuff that's going to come once in a while, and it's not very common, so it's not going to be something that you see frequently. But that die clash there, I mean, there could be 400 or 500 of them in this bag, for all I know. Yeah, I don't think your screen's going to be big enough on a phone to really see a lot of the details that we're going after here. Because there's some pretty hefty detail, little tiny things that we're seeing on these coins. Small struck-throughs, little spots of lamination. They're actually rather normal, and that big lamination was different. But the little lamination peel, little lamination flecks and stuff that we're seeing on some of these coins, and the little bits of struck through, that stuff is normal. That stuff is just because they didn't clean the dies up as well as I would hope when they were minting the coins, and, well, we turn up with a bunch of little things. things that we don't necessarily consider attractive. Pull-up proof, Carl, yes. What denomination do you want? You want pennies or you want nickels? That's what I've got. You tell me which one we're going to do, and we'll do it probably next week. All right, this is for Chuck Patillo. Let's see what we can get for Chucky. Chucky number 2, he calls himself. Hey, Chuck 1, this is Chuck 2. He's so funny. Okay, nothing on that one. No small dates in here. Man, I was kind of hoping we'd have a $12,000 small date bag. Now our 60D bag could still be small date. But unfortunately, that wouldn't be a huge plus. Not like a small date. I see there's another little struck through right there. That's actually struck through and peeled back a little bit. But as it appears, there's just no double dies in here to be seen. You want pennies? Okay, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do pennies. Not this week, but this coming week. So on the Tuesday auction, this coming Tuesday, we'll get ourselves ready for a penny proof pull. All right, for crispy, I think what I'll do this time around is I will put in some 1960 small date proof cents. I have a few of them that I'll stick into the box for us to pull. And that pull will still be the same price as usual. I think it's $2 or $2.50 a coin. And maybe $3. I can't remember exactly how much it was. If somebody else remembers, you can let me know. But I've got it on my records. I can go back and look. But what we will do is we'll throw some 1960p small date proof cents into the mix. Those are $10, $15, $20 a coin. So they'll be a worthwhile find for sure. That will be our special push find. Kind of like how we do war nickels when we do the nickel proof pulls. We put some war nickels in there to give us something of status and value aside from the typical 60s and 70s proofs that you get a lot of. Okay, here we go. This one for Cookie. And I'm going to shut this down in about 15 minutes. I'll try to make it through this stack right here. And actually what I think I might do is go ahead and shut down the individual coin thing and start using the stick. And get the stick up and get it going so we can see how much faster I can look through coins on a stick. And I've got your orders for the stick written down. I just have to get together with the guy who makes them and make sure that he's good to make them before I charge you for them. Then I will charge you for them, the people who I've already spoken to about them. Sin Digger got a box. My wife got like 5 boxes in the mail today. I'm like, what are you doing? One of them was a toy for the dog. Another one was a little purse thing that she had wanted since she was a kid. And now she has one. And it's just all kinds of things. She just loves to order things. I just think she does it for the smiles, having her name on the mail, you know. Kind of like when you were a little kid and you did pen pals just so you could get something in the mail. Made the mail interesting. I don't know, I know that's showing my age. We didn't have the internet when I was a kid, so if you weren't listening to the radio or watching TV, you were outside all day long. Rain or shine, sleet, snow, thunder, or hail. Your mother kept you outside because only adults live inside. The younger ones live outside. You live in your fort out in the backyard, or you live down at your buddy's house, bug his mother for a while. Carl, I haven't actually. I need to do that. Paul, I was actually at the post office today, and we had wires crossed. I took a bunch of the posters in last week, and there were two people that I had UPS grounded posters to instead of using USPS, and I accidentally dropped them at the post office. Well, they put a card in my box so that when I came back and brought the card up, they would give me my tubes back so I could take them to the UPS store. And one of the carriers saw them there and was like, "What are these doing here?" "Oh, well, you know, he accidentally dropped them here instead of taking them down the street." So she said, "Okay, I'll take them down there for him." So one of the mail carriers actually took my UPS packages over to the UPS to drop them off. Now, if I have everybody, their mother and their brother who ordered the posters are in the United States except for two people, and two people in Canada ordered posters, we know whose posters were delayed by a day or two because of my gross negligence and stupidity. That would be Kelly Michaud and Akram Khatib. They're both Canadian, and I had to mail theirs to Canada. Well, the rates for sending a tube in the mail with a printed poster on it are a lot cheaper going through UPS than they were going through the postal system. So that's why I did it that way. Ho, Steven. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go through a few sticks of coins to see if maybe we can run into something going in faster speed. And I'm going to pull these off and put them in a tube. And they're going to go in the same order that these names go in. So we've got, let's see, we're going to do Crispy, Steven, Frostbite, Sissy, and Taco come first. This is why I had these all split up. I think we can barely read all those names in there. So let me load this up. You're not going to be able to hear me quite as well because, well, I'm going to be over at the scope looking at these. So there's 2 for Taco. No, I'm going to go in the opposite order. 2 for Crispy. 2 for Steven. 2 for Frostbite. 2 for Sissy. And 2 for Taco. So I got 5 pairs of 2 sitting here. I readjust the scope a little bit so I can get my stick under the scope, get it dialed in and focused in. And now we'll go through it just a little bit faster. So here's 2 coins for Crispy. On the obverse side, there's one of the E-clashes right there. And then this would be the 2 coins for Steven. And then 2 coins for Frostbite. I think next bag, I think we're just going to do it this way. It just makes it so much faster. And if we find something, we're going to find it a lot quicker. Put a lot more interest in the show in the first half an hour to an hour. Show's been on for an hour and 22 minutes now. We started at 7 o'clock. So, and then these are the 2 for Sissy. But I think, unfortunately, we're going to get skunked in this bag for die varieties. Not found any double dies yet. And then 2 for Taco. Alright, so now I can just put my other stick on top, flip the whole mess over, and I'm ready to look at the reverses. Here is the first reverse for Crispy. Second reverse for Crispy. First reverse for Steven. A little bit of a struck through there next to E pluribus unum. Second reverse for Steven. First for Frostbite. So these sticks are just long enough to fit 25 coins on them. Here's a little bit of a lamb peel right at the rim. But that allows you to put 25 coins on a stick that has a groove fluted area that the coins just fit inside of. So when you set the coins down, they don't shake back and forth. Sorry about that. And you can look through 25 coins, slide it all the way through underneath your microscope, and then you can take the whole rig, pop the other half of it on, flip the whole rig over, and then look through the other side of your coins. The only unfortunate parts that I have found to this so far, which can be worked around but hasn't yet, is that these sticks are only good for one size coin. So if you make a set for Lincolns, you can do it with a three-quarter box bit or Forstner bit to run through, or a router bit, 3/4 wide. That'll cut a perfect groove for pennies to sit inside of, but nickels won't sit in it. You'll have to create a different set of sticks for nickels. That's why I call this the cent stick. It's not called the nickel stick because it doesn't fit nickels. Okay, this is Taco's last coin here. So now I'm done with these, and I'll take these and put them in, and we have just finished 5 times the number of coins we would have done in one setting before. And that's how I had ended up doing them last time, and we got through quite a few in a much quicker period of time. I think that's what I'm going to do with the 60D bag that we do over the weekend. I do plan on getting the rest of the reveals for this week finished during the day tomorrow. And then tomorrow evening, I believe I have the singles pool scheduled for tomorrow evening. And then Saturday evening, I believe I have the 60D bag scheduled for Saturday evening. Okay, this time we've got Mark. I'll get this scooted into a spot where we can actually use it. There. All right. A bit of a panic moment there. There's Mark. There's Stephen. There's Carl. There's Sureg. And Paul. Mark, Stephen, Carl, Sureg, and Paul. What? The bag? Who says the bag's going to be empty anytime soon? Oops. I'm going to flip these over. I'm not right next to the microphone. I know that. I'm putting my pears out right now. One, two, three, four, five. Paul first. There's Paul's first coin. Paul's second coin. Here is Sureg's first coin. Sureg's second coin is an E-Clash. You see the bottom of the E sticking out of the back of the vest. This is Carl's first coin. Carl's second coin appears to be one of the E-Clashes. It is. Carl's second coin is one of the E-Clashes. This is Stephen, first coin. Appears to be... No, maybe not an E-Clash. I thought it was there for a second. And Stephen, the second coin. And then we have Mark. First coin for Mark. This is one of the E-Clashes here. There it is. And Mark's second coin. Not one of the E-Clashes. And now for the reverse side. So I think this is about as far as we're going to be able to go with this. And actually have content, because beyond this we're just doing the same thing over and over and over again. So probably at this point I think you can agree that it's a good time for us to go ahead and shut this reveal down. There's not much left to know about this. We have been getting one little E-Clash. I'm going to study some of the coins closely and work to identify that bar L, if there is a bar L in here. That may have been an anomaly on a single coin. And if I can get that anomaly narrowed down to a bar L and get it listed, I'll get it listed, and then I'll let all of you know that the bag also contained this XXY double die, and you'll be able to look through your coins and try to match it up to XXY double die, because you know that you have coins that came from the same original source as that double die. If it's not listable, then we just won't do anything about it, and it will just go into the back of your brain for a while and sit there until finally you give up and it kind of just goes away. Right? We're not seeing anything on these as far as double dies are concerned. I had kind of hoped, but kind of hoping doesn't make everything happen. That's the last coin on the stick. I think it's the last coin we're going to do today. Taco John had an E also? Did he? Okay. And here is coins for Paul. Coins for Sureg. Coins for Carl. One more rack. Okay, one more rack. One encore rack. We'll lay them down going in the opposite direction this time. Coins and Ghouls. Taco John. Chuck Patillo. Stephen. And Mr. French. There we go. All right. Get my coins out. We have one pair, two pairs, three pairs, four pairs, and I have to go back into the bag for my fifth pair. There they are. And we go like this. This is Coins and Ghouls. First one. Second coin. This has got the confluence below the 1. This is not the E-Clash die. This will be Taco John. First, this is the E-Clash die. There's your E-Clash. I think, my brain is trying to make things up and it almost sees the N next to it or something. Because that would be the E from 1, I believe. So that would probably... I'm not sure. I'll have to run an image of it. I'll post the image. You guys can see. I'll take pictures of one of these. So there's his second coin. Not an E-Clash coin. This is Chuck Patillo. First coin here. And second coin. This one is an E-Clash. You can see the clash mark. Well, you can actually see the E pretty clearly on this one. It's backwards and it's upside down, but it's definitely there. And this other letter underneath the shoulder is definitely there too, because I'm seeing it on every coin. Alright, this goes to Stephen. That's got a big spot on it. Straight out of a mint sealed bag. There's Stephen's second. Looks like there's some related stuff going on here. Struck through something, perhaps. The whole back half of the head going all the way over to just above the Y of Liberty. Looks like a big... struck through something very, very thin. And then this is Mr. French here. And I think Nope. Nope. Not an E-clash there. Alright, let's fold it under, go over the reverses here, and then we'll call it a night. And I will fill everybody's flips at random, sort them out, get them out in the mail to you this week. Don't have any double dies that I know of in here, although you do want to check your coins again, just to be sure. I'm going to go through a handful or two under the scope with both eyes, looking at them very closely, see if I come up with anything. If there is anything, I'll make sure everybody who was involved in this knows what it is that exists, what it is that was found, and with photos, so you will know what to look for. After you use these sticks enough, especially with new source material, all the little metal flecks, you see all those little metal flecks all over it, they embed themselves into the wood. And it almost looks like flour gold when you're painting for gold. It's kind of cool. Just little metal flecks that come off the coins. So this is Stephen's second coin, reverse side. And then Mr. French. And his second coin, reverse side. The 34 that got posted on Copper Coins, absolutely for real. This show is, in effect, over at this point. I'm going to hang around for a little while, and we can chit-chat for a bit. I'll go over and I'll get my book and get that coin out, and I'll put it under the scope so you can actually see it live. But yes, that is a real 1934 double die obverse. They are very rare and extremely difficult to find in higher grade. The story on the higher grade coin that I have is that I was at a show. There was an old retired dealer there selling off his dealer stock, and I bought a pretty large pile of stuff from him, and I bought that 1934 just as a 1934 because I got it nice and cheap. And it wasn't until I got it home and looked at it that I discovered that it was actually a double die. Hang on just a second, I'm going to go grab it. And then I'll put it under the scope so we can see it nice and close. I have found a total of 2 of these in all the years that I've been doing coins. I still have both of the coins I found. I know that Brian has found a couple. And I don't know of very many other people who have ever found or even seen one of these. But this is the actual coin that you see photographs of on Copper Coins on Facebook right now. Right off, it doesn't look like much of anything except a 1934 cent. That is why these are so difficult to find, because you have to get the light on them just right to see what you're trying to look for. If I tilt it up like that and get it focused in just right, right here, you can see the entire trailing edge of a 9 right there. And then right out here is the center of a 3. And that's this area and this area right here. At first they had thought this was the 3 and then the other mark was the edge of the 4, but it didn't work out that way. It took some finagling to get the details to work up right. Let me try this in a different lighting direction. Nope, that didn't work. Let me see. Let me show you the other one. The other one I have is a nastified brass polished VF cleaned coin, but it shows the lettering pretty nicely under there. It's an earlier die state, so it shows a little more clearly. There, now you can kind of see it pretty clearly. Alright, so there's the back of the 9 right there, and here's the center of the 3 as it comes around. And then this space to here, right there to there, is exactly the same as right here to there. Now why the top of the 3 doesn't show up, or any other part of the 3, that's a mystery. It's probably due to die polishing or something to that effect. But what you're looking for is, while you're looking through 1934 Lincoln Cents, you're actually looking for this little raised curve right here. This may not at first be apparent, but this will be. And this is an earlier die state example. Of course, this coin is cleaned and it's kind of nasty and it's got crud all over it, but it is one. That was the first one I ever found. And then this is one that I bought at a dealer stock, and you can see them, and I'm going to focus up on the cheek and everything. You can see what kind of condition this coin is in. I mean, that's a pretty nice one. And if you turn it just right and you look down there, you can see that curve under the 3. And that curve under the 3 is your secondary 9. It is in the Cherry Picker's Guide. Yes, this coin was accidentally hubbed way off center, and the date is the only part that actually shows. I'm not exactly sure why this happened. All I can tell you is that it for sure did. But that's what it looks like. Yes, it is as genuine as you can come up with. It's in the Cherry Picker's Guide. It's been recognized for a number of years now, although it has been considered very rare for all of those years. So there you go. Yes, Thomas Murphy, I can put you in for a bin of 2 on the 60D. Anybody else who wants to get in on the 60Ds or get additional spots on the 60D, let me know, and I can get you in on those now. They're $5.75 for the 2 coins. Right, Tyler? It's like, hey, you knew you kept those for some reason, right? But that's what that looks like. Anthony says he'll take 2. Okay, I'll get you in there, sir. Coin Dragon, number 22. What are we talking about, sir? Valuable? I would say in this condition, it's probably worth $300 or $400. $200, maybe $300. You get it in nice red BU. You're talking about a $400, $500, $600 coin. The used up cleaned one I have is probably worth about 40 or 50 bucks, but I'm just keeping it because it's the first one I ever found. It's it almost has no value. I mean, look at it. Oops, I dropped it. It's a polished, brassy looking polished coin, but I keep it just because. Right, for sure. Go through all your 34s, you may find one. They're out there somewhere. I have a 1934 around here somewhere. I'm unable to remember exactly where I put it. This is another 1934 Philadelphia here. This is a double die reverse. Pretty strong classics double die reverse. This is 1DR002. Nice strong extra thickness in E pluribus unum. There is another double die for 1934 that actually shows in the area of 1 cent. It actually has a class 4 offset hub doubling in the area of 1 cent. I have a coin. I don't know where it is, but I know I have it. But I think I am keyboard stuck. Die 6. I'm not sure. Coin Dragon. I don't know what die number somebody else would have given it. All I know is that 34, that's FS. I'm pretty sure it's FS 101. Could be FS 102. It's 1934 P1DO002 in the copper coins. In the copper coins listings. All right, I think I am going to go ahead and get us into nighttime mode, and I will get you guys all added onto the lists for the said pulls that we're doing, and I will get invoices sent out for those. I've got a number of people wanting in on the 1960 Denver bag. I've got 2 so far wanting in on the 60 Denver bag. Spots on those are $5.75 a piece for 2 coins. Draw everything out in pairs because we've got so many coins. I want people to have a better chance of getting more than, or at least getting one or more than one. All right, Doug, I appreciate it. You have a great night. You too, Frosty. You guys both have a great night. And I think I'm going to take off. I think I'm going to go ahead and take it easy for the rest of the evening. You guys have a good night. And I will see you tomorrow. Mickey, I'll see you tomorrow. Probably 9 or 10. Doesn't matter what time. And I've got... I'm going to start doing reveals at 3 in the afternoon tomorrow. So if you're still here, then you can watch a reveal happen in the live. All right, I'll talk to you folks later. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow. It's tomorrow afternoon.